Mr. Romero, how's jail? You're on felony probation for injury to a child, which is a very, very serious probation, and now you picked up an evading arrest. I have no idea what happened with the evading arrest, so we're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir. Okay, please, Alex.
The evading arrest. On September 15, 2024, officers observed a group of males trespassing in the closed section of a strip center while on patrol at 5900 South Gessner Road in Harris County, Texas. The officer was aware of no trespassing affidavits for the strip center and also observed no trespassing signs posted outside the strip center's door. Officers made contact with a group of males and informed them they were trespassing. The defendant informed the officer that he did not have his ID, and the officer observed the defendant to be nervous, sweating profusely, and shaking. The defendant stated his name was Alexander Ramirez with the date of birth of August 31st, 2003. The officer attempted to detain the defendant, but the defendant pulled away from the officer and began to evade on foot. The officer pursued after the defendant, giving verbal commands to stop, which the defendant refused, and he continued to evade through 2 parking lots. The officer lost sight of the defendant and established a perimeter. A witness informed the officer that the defendant was inside a gas station restroom. The officer approached the restroom and observed the defendant inside. The defendant evaded for approximately 340 yards. The defendant was ID'd with a booking photo.
Okay. Real quick, can you give us a brief rendition of what happened in the injury to a child?
Yes, sir. Briefly, it says on April 19, 2024, an officer was dispatched to a family disturbance and met with the complaining witness and the defendant's mother. The complaining witness and the defendant are brothers. The witness advised that she observed the defendant on top of her 12-year-old son, punching him multiple times. The complainant advised the defendant attacked him when he told him that he to not eat the food on the counter. The witness advised that she feels that the deed will kill her because he has anger issues. So he attacked the 12-year-old.
Mr. Romero, who do you have that's going to take you in? Who do you have that's going to take you in?
Me.
Am I speaking Swahili? Who's going to take you in out of the cold, off of the streets?
I don't know. I don't know.
Mr. Romero, I'm trying to find you a place instead of the streets.
Yeah.
You know, you're not being very helpful here, but if you can't talk to me and let me know who you have in your life that's ready to take you, I have nowhere else to put you back into custody. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to have you speak with Jillian. I've appointed her to represent you. We're going to try to reach out to your dad to see if he will take you. I'm not going to release you just to put you out on the street. That's setting you up for failure, and I'm not going to do it. If we can't find you a place to stay and something that's stable, then I'm going to keep you with me. One more thing. If I test you for dope, what are you going to test positive for? That's it. Okay. You please do me a favor and see, let's talk to dad and then craft a plan because it's going nowhere real fast. Okay. All right, Mr. Romero, we'll talk to you shortly.
Judge.
Yeah, let's do them both. Come on.
And then the gentleman in the box, I believe needs bond conditions after this, Judge. He's also not in the rules.
Hernandez is through to and last.
Whoa, hold on. So is this, okay, Oscar, is 3-2? And who's the other one?
Castro.
Castro.
Every day it's what 2 days credit and it has been.
We're asking for a reporting date on Castro this Friday, September 20th.
This Friday. Okay. 30 days, you said 2 days credit, right?
Yes.
Okay. Gentlemen,
Señores.
both of you are charged. Well, hold on. Who's Castro Gonzalez?
Castro Gonzalez.
You are Oscar Hernandez. Both of you gentlemen are charged with driving while intoxicated. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. Both of you gentlemen are making lifetime decisions today where you are pleading guilty to these cases and they're going to go on your record. You, Mr. Castro, have a lot to lose. How old are you, sir? You're 30. Now this makes 2 DWIs that are going on your record. What happens on the next one?
¿Qué pasa en el siguiente?
Será deportado.
I would be deported?
Yes.
Sí.
What else?
Estará dañado para siempre.
My record would be damaged forever.
You will be looking at a minimum
Se
of 2
enfrentaría
years
un-
in prison, a maximum of 10 years in prison. And all that has to happen is that you have the faintest smell of alcohol
Debe
or dope.
de alcohol.
This has 2 DWIs. So if you ever get pulled over, an officer is going to see DWI, DWI, the faintest smell of alcohol. And this applies to you as well.
Yo también.
Order in the court.
They will see this DWI that's going on your record today.
En su
They are not going to cut you any slack.
record,
The mere smell in and of itself, they're going to arrest you. They're going to put you in jail. And now you're looking at a ton of time in prison. Do you understand? I would never, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, get in a car and drive. You have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 30 days in jail, credit for the 2 days that you've done. Mr. Hernandez, you've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 2 days that you've done. Is this how you understand it, gentlemen?
¿Ustedes entienden, señor? De la oferta.
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
You
Usted.
must turn yourself in this Friday by 6 p.m. If you fail to do it, I will issue a warrant for your arrest and I'm going to have a contempt hearing and you'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail. I want you to understand, I'm giving you the courtesy of turning yourself in, but I expect you to turn yourself in on time. Mr. Hernandez, you will not be doing any jail time, but the next time you come back, it is a minimum of 30 days in jail, which is what he will be doing now. Do you understand?
Yes.
Both of you are giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported,
Podría ser
excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty,
Al declararse
or
culpable,
undo
nunca
this.
puede deshacer esto.
the record of
Quedaría en su
the rest of your lives. Shh. Do you understand?
¿Entienden?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
Plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated, second offense, Mr. Castro. Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty. I'm going to suspend your license for a year. Do not drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense, Mr. Hernandez? Do not drive. I am also suspending your license for 90 days. Until you get a license, if you come back here, you will be doing at a minimum 30 days in jail. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, guys, I'm gonna have you meet with the clerk and then good luck to both of you.
The enhancement on the Thursday.
Oh, is it true? Hold on a second. Mr. Castro, is it true that you had a prior DWI here in 2023?
Aquí en el 2023.
Right, true to the enhancement. All right, guys, good luck. Thank you. Okay. Is this Martinez?
Page 15, Martinez Carlos.
Okay. All right. Good morning, Carlos Martinez. So you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On September 9th, 2024, officer was dispatched to a family disturbance call for service at 1531 Old Greens Road in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer made contact with the defendant, who was seen attempting to kick the door down at the residence. The defendant said, "Shoot me," to responding officers. In attempting to detain the defendant, he began to actively resist detention. Upon detaining the defendant stated he was kicked by the complaining witness, his sister, and they began to have a verbal altercation. The defendant advised that he was assaulted by his older brother. The defendant advised he was punched in the face and locked out of the residence. Contact was then made with the complaining witness, who advised upon arriving to the residence, She asked the defendant if he was going to pick up their little cousins from school. The complaining witness advised she was ignored by the defendant, and the complaining witness stated she pretended to kick the defendant to get his attention. The complaining witness stated she did not make any physical contact and was just trying to play with her brother. The complaining witness then asked the defendant again, which caused him to tell her to shut up and proceeded to slap her left arm with an open palm. The complaining witness advised she went inside the residence and advised her mother, the witness, about the incident. The complaining witness stated this caused the defendant to get more upset and attempted to assault the witness. The complaining witness stated she got in between the other witness and the defendant began to punch her multiple times. The complaining witness advised in an attempt to defend herself, she began to hit the defendant back. The complaining witness advised their oldest sibling, the second witness, then attempted to push the defendant away from the complaining witness and the first witness. The complaining witness stated this caused the defendant and the second witness to begin fighting. The complaining witness stated they were able to push the defendant outside the house, and the complaining witness stated
So he next started fighting with the other one.
with the other one, yes, Your
Go
Honor.
family brawl.
Yes, Your Honor. And the complaining witness stated she felt pain and discomfort.
Is there any kind of alcohol or dope that we should be aware about?
There's no allegations that Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. And does he have any criminal history?
No, Your Honor.
And as a juvenile,
I'll check, Your Honor.
please. So I want you to understand that there's a protective order that has been issued in this case. Let's see if it for both.
No, sir, no juvenile.
I see that the protective order just is over one person. Should we do one on the second person as well? What say you?
At the moment, since the second person is a witness and not a complainant.
No, he started, but, well, in theory, not a complainant, but in theory, yes, a complainant, because they were fighting as well.
I think.
Do we know were there any kind of injuries on the second person as well? Mr. Martinez, at a minimum, on AM, a protective order has been issued. You need to understand that we take that extremely serious, and that if you violate this protective order, and it doesn't matter how you violate it, even if, here, you're now prohibited from going within 200 feet of the address of where they live or where they work. Even if they call you, say, hey, come on over, let's talk about this, and you go over there, you're still in violation of this protective order. And if you violate this, they're going to file additional charges against you. And then it really just goes sideways really quick. So I'm ordering you now also, as a condition of your bond, no weapons and no contact with any of these people whatsoever. Do you understand? Where are you now going to live?
Right now, since I got out of the criminal justice center, I don't know how it's called. I've been staying at 1351 Greens Parkway, Houston, with my dad's niece.
Your dad's niece. Okay,
I haven't been there since my arrest.
good. You're not allowed to go back.
Yes, sir.
Understand that we take it seriously. You go back, I'm going to put you in jail. And if you don't have anyone to, pay all that money to get you out, you're going to be stuck in there until this thing's over with.
Sean,
How old are you?
17.
You're 17. What do you do in life now?
I'm going to school. I'm trying to graduate. I'm doing good in school right now.
Are you in high school?
Yes, sir.
Okay, where do you go to high school?
Limits High School, all the United States.
If I drug test you now, what's going to show up?
Sir,
If I drug test you now, what's going to show up? I'm sending you now for a drug test. If you're lying to me, it's not going to go well. Are you sure? You know better than anything else. If I drug test you now, what's going to show up?
do that often.
We'll see.
Be honest with you.
I'm sending you now for drug test. I want to know what, if anything's in your system. If you have anything in your system, it stops as of today.
Sir,
I'm going to drug test you like crazy. And if I find that you're smoking any weed, using anything that has THC in it, likewise, I'll put you in jail. I'll appoint you a lawyer today so that we can have someone advise you.
Sure.
But That's it. No weapons, no contact with these people until I know that they want to have contact with you. And then at that point, we'll go from there.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'm going to send you for a drug test. You must come back. And then we'll have you speak to a lawyer. If you don't come back, I'll issue a warrant.
When do we come back?
10, an hour. We'll send you now. Come back right after you're done. You'll be back in an hour. The state has reached out to your mom to see whether mom and siblings to see whether they want to have contact with you. You're welcome to come up too. Come on up, Ms. Matthews. First off, I want to say thank you so much for coming. It's been an absolute pleasure and we're happy to have you and thank you for everything that you do, really. And I hope that you really appreciate what she's doing because she's taking her time. Who the hell likes to come to downtown? No one likes to come to downtown. No one likes to come to court. You have to pay for parking, all because of you. So I want you to recognize this. You have a bunch of people here that are going to bat for you. There's absolutely no excuse. And I will not tolerate any misbehavior whatsoever. And I don't care for excuses. So your excuse, if you come up to me, because you either picked up a new case, you smoked anything, you hit someone, there's only one place that you're going to go, and that is into jail. And I won't make your bond sufficiently high, but you'll be stuck like Chuck until this case is over with, and that's it. Do you understand?
Sure.
I have places for people who don't like to comply. I don't want to do it, but if you force my hand, I'm not gonna shed a tear, and I'm still going to sleep at night. Do you understand?
Sure.
I will let you go back home. But I want you to understand that I'm ordering you not to have any threatening or harassing contact with everyone in the house. What is threatening or harassing doesn't matter what you think it is. It is how they perceive your conduct. So if you come up to them and you start going, let's get this ball up, is that threatening or harassing? It is. And it can land your ass in jail. Do you understand? If you get upset, if you get angry, if someone tries to push your buttons just for the sake of pushing your button, because that's what sisters and brothers do. They act like constant a-holes. And what you need to do is you need to be the stronger and better person. And when you see someone trying to act like that, walk away. I have a 13-year-old son and I have a 12-year-old daughter and I have a 9-year-old daughter. And if it's anything but every single day, they're constantly poking at each other, trying to make themselves angry constantly. And it's maddening. And if I wanted to, I could beat them into submission and say, and I could literally, if I wanted to, I could just beat the hell out of them every single time to make them stop. What does it accomplish? Right. What you do, and every time you beat them, all it does is it drives them further away. And at some point, you're going to create such an animosity that they're never going to want to be with you ever. I have family members like that now. They acted like such assholes to me when I was young. I have nothing that I want to do with them and I will not talk to them. And they call me to this day, hey man, I need help. I need this, I need that. You know what I do then? I give them a big fat wet middle finger is what I do. That's life. And that's what happens when you constantly push people away. And if you don't recognize that, we're here to tell you that now. Because I don't want you to push. You only have one family. You don't have anyone else in this life to help you out. Everyone wants to see you fail. Everyone, that's what everybody likes: death, destruction, and people to fall down the tubes. You have to be better than that. And it starts right here because it's your brother and your sisters, they're going to push your buttons. You have to expect it because that's what they do. When you do that, go outside. Find something else to do. Because if I get wind that you do even one thing, I'm going to lock you up. Understand? You've dug yourself into a hole, but it's not so deep that you can't get out of it, right? But when you get out, The idea is that you keep going up, not dig yourself out and then dig yourself into another hole. That's what we don't want. The protective order will remain in place. And this protective order says that you are not allowed to have any threatening or harassing contact with them. If you do, they can file an additional charge against you. And I'm going to tell you now, on violation of protective orders, I make the bonder out $15,000 to $20,000. So
I can go back to.
it's okay.
Go ahead.
I can go back to my house.
You can go back. But what I'm telling you is there's no threatening or harassing contact with anyone in the household. If you do, you will pick up a new charge. So if you, with your sister, if you're constantly butting heads with this person, it's probably best for you to just stay away for a while. And if you go home one day after school in 2 weeks and you see that she is in a bad mood, go the other way, because sisters always like to push buttons. Brothers always like to push buttons. You understand? You're not going to get another warning from me. Miss Matthews, would you like to add anything?
No, Your Honor. I thank you for everything, and this is what he needs. And he knows he can call me 24 hours. If I have to come over and pick him up, I will. It's not a problem. I go. Great.
Mom was suggesting some kind of anger management classes, and I'm happy to do it, but I don't know what resources they have. I just, at this point of the game, I can't pay for anything, you know?
I'm trying to look for myself in online classes too.
And I'm sure that they have. And I'm sure that there are free resources out there. And it would probably be a good idea. But
I like being outside. That's what helps me a lot.
what is it?
I like being outside, like doing the yard and stuff. That helps me a lot too.
Exercise. You know, whatever you feel that.
I'm sick, so I haven't been doing that lately.
It's okay. I'll get with his school counselor. We'll come up with some resources, even if it has to be during school hours at school.
I don't.
So I can do that.
You have one job right now. You're the main job that you have in this life at this point is to graduate from high school and then try to further yourself. So not only do you don't want to just stop with high school, you want to keep your schooling. The more schooling you do in life, the better you are off in the future. The idea is that you work hard in life now so that when you reach 50 and 60, you don't have to work hard and you can just go on continual vacations forever. When you work hard now, it will pay off in the future. Don't screw off now to where you have to work like a dog when you're 60 and 70, where your back hurts, your leg hurts, you've got diabetes, high blood pressure, you can barely freaking walk, but you still need money. Whereas if you work hard now, you do a lot of schooling now, you get a great career now. It'll set you up for the future. Anyways, enough. I've given you a lawyer. If you ever have any questions, he will also help you out. There's no excuse why you can't just rise to stardom now. Okay? Thank you so much again, Ms. Matthews. Wonderful. Okay, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.